also share it with your friends. Okay. On the app, many free lectures are available like this. So those who are watching on YouTube, kindly download the app first and share it. Okay, share it with your friends also. Okay, chalo, let's move on. Say this. Next one now. Let's start with the basics. Statistics. Here, statistical analysis of data can comprise of 4 distinct phases. Now look at this. What are the phases? Means whenever you do this, you can say analysis of any data. How do you do the analysis? Means what? What is analysis? Firstly, survey. Keep it very simple. It's survey. Survey which you do, regular surveys you see on the television. हाँ, आपको क्या लगता है? इस बार कौन सा survey can be using the forms also. I can submit the forms to 1000 applicants or respondents and then they can give me the details. We have this survey also. So surveys can be of various forms. Nowadays we are in technological area or technological era. So because of this, what happens in technological era, this form filling and everything is gone now. Now everything is very simple. Online, take online run. Collection of data. Very important part. Collection of data. Data is to be collected first. Okay? Data collection is an important part. Say this. Collection of data. Can you see this now? Yeah. Collection of data. Very important part. How do you collect? Now there are 2 types of data. Okay? There are 2 types of data. Primary data and secondary data. Okay? There are 2 types of data. One is primary data, then it is secondary data. What is primary and secondary? Whenever you go to somebody and ask yourself, what do you feel about this? What have you done? You get direct interview. Either through interview or through forms, form filling, anything from where you get it from the source. That is called as primary data. What is secondary data then? In secondary data, somebody else has done this job. Somebody else has gone there and asked him, what do you feel? And then that person has collected 1000 data. Then that person has worked on it. And then he has given the results. And those results, you are using it. Okay? So those results which you are using it, okay, that is known as that is basically your secondary data. Okay? So kindly note, what is primary data? Which you do yourself. What is secondary data? Secondary. Published or unpublished. Look at this. In the first stage of investigation, numerical data is collected from different published or unpublished sources. Published or unpublished sources, primary or secondary. So whenever it is published or unpublished, means anyone can do their own survey and keep it to themselves also. Published or unpublished, but both are secondary. And primary means what? I do it nothing. First time I am doing it. Nobody else has done it. That is primary. So that is about collection of data. Then classification and tabulation, next step. Classification and tabulation means what? Once I collect the data, let's say I give 1000 forms to 1000 respondents, all of them fill up. What is your name, gender, what is your job, how much salary are you getting, all these details, suppose if I get it. So 1000 forms will come to me. What will I do with those 1000 forms? I'll take those 1000 forms and I'll put it in an Excel sheet or I'll put it in some software, anyways, any database. So any database over here means anything. So tabulation of that, classification and tabulation. So in that case what happens, look at this. The raw data collected is to be represented properly for further calculations. The raw data is divided into different groups or classes and representation in form of a table. Kindly note this. This raw data, whatever you have, you classify it. Classify it means what? I'll put it in the Excel sheet. Simple, I'm telling you. See, I'll put it in the Excel sheet. Age, this. 1000 ages. So what is the use of this? The use of this here, Up till now, what have we done? We have only classified it and tabulated it. What is the use? Gender, male, 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 female, female, male, female, male, female, like this. What is the use? We'll see that in the next slide. So, part 1 was collection, part 2 is classification and tabulation. Now, part 3, analysis of data. Here it is used. Means, I'll go into the table and see, out of these 1000 respondents, how many are males? Analysis. How many are females? Analysis. Or I will do how many of you have this, how many of them have the salaries more than 40,000, less than 40,000, more than 1 lakh, like this. Analysis. So the use of data is always analysis. Kindly note, one important point you must always note. Data and information. These 2 points are very important. Data and information. What do you mean by this? Say this. I have shown it over here. Data and information. Whenever you have the forms, the 1000 forms, that is the data. And whenever you collect this, create this table from it, that is known as information. So, whenever you have the data, data means raw data. It's of no use to you, to be frank. This raw data is of no use to you unless you convert it. Unless you convert it to the information. Because that is very much needed. Raw data is of zero use to you. You have to convert it to the table, classify it, and then it becomes the information. Got it? Move on. Next. So analysis. Afterwards, interpretation. Interpretation here means what? I'll just interpret it. Yeah, these many are these. This is the from the overall survey. I find that so many males have such a salary. So many females have such a salary. This is this anything. Means all the data interpretation I can find out as a conclusion. Okay. So what are the 4 stages? Again, remember here. Analysis of data, classified and tabulated data is analyzed using different formulas and methods according to the purpose of study or investigation. Right? It is analyzed. And last one is interpretation. At the final stage, relevant conclusions are drawn after the data is thoroughly analyzed. So conclusions are drawn. Okay? Got it? Next. Importance of statistics. What is the importance? Why should we have statistics? Look at this, read this. Why should we have statistics? What's the use? First read it, everyone. By using Bayesian decision theory, the businessman can select, see here, Bayesian decision theory. What is Bayesian decision theory? By Bayesian decision theory, the businessman can select the optimal decisions to directly evaluate the payoff of each alternative course of action. Now see here, firstly understand where is statistics used. Statistics is used everywhere. Let it be business, let it be economics, let it be medical, let it be weather, let it be stock market, let it be bank, let it be air control, let it be agriculture. Everywhere statistics is used. Why? Because statistics means what? You get the data. Data can be of various fields. In all the fields, data will be there. It's in biology also. It's in medical science also. So data is there everywhere. So use of statistics is everywhere. Now why have I specifically mentioned Bayesian decision theory? Because in exam they ask you for your CAIIB. What is Bayesian decision theory? Remember, your exam questions will be, first question will be the first slide which I took, this one. Statistical analysis can be comprised of 4 distinct phases. So what are the 4 phases? Or they might ask you something like this. They'll give you these phases and they'll ask you which one of them is not the 4 distinct phases. Not. So they'll give you something wrong. Collection of data will be there. Classification, tabulation will be there. Then they'll give you something wrong. They won't give you all the 4. Something will be different over here. Okay? So instead of analysis of data, they'll give you something different. That posting the data on the website. It's not a part, right? So this is four distinct phases. They'll ask you something like this, or they can ask you the question like, which of them is or which of them are the phases. So all of them will be given like this. Three of them will be given. All of the above will be given. Something like this. Okay? And also this Bayesian theory. This theory is asked in exam. Bayesian decision theory. Many times they ask you, what is Bayesian decision theory? It means can select optimal decisions to directly evaluate the payoff of each alternative course of action. What do you mean by this? Optimal decisions to evaluate the payoff. What do you mean by payoff? Payoff means always risk-reward system. What is risk-reward system? See, whenever you invest in shares, you all might be investing in something. Shares, mutual fund, FD, right? Somewhere you might be investing. Property, gold, anything. What do you do while investing? While investing, we always look at risk and reward. What is the risk? What is the reward? Generally, the rule is like this: high risk, high reward; low risk, low reward. This is general tendency. Okay, I can have low risk. I can invest in FDs, bank FDs. Low risk. I'll be getting 7%. So no issues. I don't want any risk, so 7%. I want medium risk. I'm medium risk taker. I'll invest in mutual funds. So that's also okay. Mutual funds 15% average. Now we are not getting anything. In last 1 year, the returns are less than zero. That's why it's called as risk. Right? In last 1 year, the mutual funds have given almost zero returns or less than that. And high risk, direct stocks. Huge risk. You can get up to 30-35% returns. Or you can